Welcome race fans to Nevada DIECAST Racing. Miles Grant here from Canyon Speedway. We're continuing our Corvette 12-pack tournament consisting of the bottom two finishers from the previous three events. So we are sure to see a few crashes as well as other DNFs. Now we decided to keep track of point totals so we can see not only who wins the overall tournament but who has the overall points. I have a feeling it'll be the same racer. First up is Grateful Sam. He comes from event 1, coming in third place with a total of 7 points. Next is Puff, same event, and he came in last with 4 points in total. Now from event 2, next we've got Wally Champ, and he had a total of 9 points from that particular event. Also in event 2 is N-Count. Having some difficulties, he ended up last place with 3 points. And our last two racers come from event 3. First up is Greasy. He came out in third place in that event with a total of 8 points. And rounding out our racers is V-Man. He came in last in event 3, but he had a respectable 7 points. Now, according to the rules, the bottom two finishers of today's event will be eliminated, unfortunately, while the top 4 will move on to event 6. Thanks for subscribing. It's about time for race time. Let's head to the starting line for race 1. Race 1, we see Wally Champ, Greasy, and V-Man up front. Wally Champ coming out of the starting lanes, pulling ahead if he could just keep it together. Meanwhile, Grateful Sam closing the gap. We've got 3 cars stuck on that first hairpin turn. Here comes Wally Champ to seal first place, followed by Grateful Sam, and third place goes to N-Count. Rolling it back. Let's see what happened. It's always an issue for certain cars coming out of that first turn. There you see N-Count managing to get away from the fray, but 3 DNFs, Puff, V-Man, and Greasy. Alright, let's move on to race 2. N-Count, Wally Champ, and Greasy in the front row. And there goes Wally Champ again. That is a fast car off the line. Coming out of that hairpin, it's Wally Champ followed by the other cars. Except for V-Man, he gets hung up. Wally going sideways, Greasy gets by, but he is slammed by the other 68 Gas Monkey Corvette driven by Puff. Let's roll it back and see why N-Count did not make it to the finish line. There he is into the turn in that gold Corvette. And looks like coming out of the turn, he goes up and over the guardrail. N-Count has left the building. Now, meanwhile, up front, you see Wally Champ in trouble. And Greasy does a nice pass, but Puff just slams into him, knocking him off the track. And here's how it adds up after that second race. Grateful Sam pulling ahead. Alright, this race we've got Puff, N-Count, and Wally up front. There they go. Yeah, those 68 Corvettes are really good off the line, but around that first turn, a little difficulty. So we've lost Puff. Meanwhile, Wally Champ is in reverse and taking first place. Just lost V-Man on that last hairpin turn. And it looks like the impact causes Greasy's car to stall out. He's going to have to work on that before the next race. Looking at the replay, N-Count must be having a deja vu from event number 2. And he is off the track on that first hairpin turn. Now keep an eye out front for Puff. And you see those Gas Monkey Corvettes are just so front heavy from that gigantic engine that they just can't stay on the track. Now Grateful Sam is still in the lead with 14 points. And N-Count and Puff need to fight it out to see who's going to be in the top 4. Now we've got Grateful up front, next to Puff, next to N-Count. There goes that 68 Vent pulling ahead. And we have lost Wally Champ. Looks like Puff's got this first place finish sealed. Followed by Grateful Sam, followed by Greasy. And V-Man manages to get on the board. N-Count comes in 5th place. There goes Wally Champ. N-Count trying to maintain control of that gold Corvette. And it looks like we've got 5 drivers able to finish this race. And this is how it shakes out. Going into our 5th race with Grateful Sam pulling ahead. And it's not looking good for N-Count and V-Man. Going into race 5 is V-Man next to Grateful Sam. And Pump on the outside as usual pulls ahead out of the starting lanes. V-Man getting tossed around. And there goes, I think that was Greasy. And another first place finish from Pump. Amazing. Followed by N-Count. Grateful Sam coming in 3rd. And Wally Champ in 4th. Just the insanity there with V-Man is just mind-blowing. Keeps it together. Meanwhile, we have lost Greasy. He is in the crevice. We are extracting him now for this final race. Grateful Sam, 23 points. I think everyone's destiny in this event is foretold in these scores. But let's see if N-Count can somehow get past Greasy and secure a spot in the top 4. It's Greasy, V-Man, and Grateful up front. They are clustered. N-Count in the back. Oh no, N-Count caught on the guardrail. And here comes Greasy making a nice pass on Wally Champ. 5 cars across the finish line. Rolling it back. Now this is something N-Count has dealt with. Coming around that first turn, he gets caught up on that guardrail. But up front, these other cars are serious. Wally had that 2nd place wrapped up. Loses control. Greasy takes advantage of it, and he seals that 2nd place finish. In that race perhaps, but not in the overall event. Grateful Sam taking 1st place with a whopping 25 points. Puff in 2nd place with 23 points. And Wally Champ and Greasy, they are tied. Now overall, Grateful Sam is our point leader. For 2 events, he has 32 points in total. Now these 4 cars, the top 4, that is, are going to event 6. And now we are saying goodbye to N-Count and V-Man as they are eliminated. Here is the overall point total for the 6 cars that have raced twice. Event 5's coming up. Now that's the top 2 racers from the first 3 events, and they'll be competing in another 6-car, 6-race event, with the top 2 finishers heading straight to the final, and the bottom 4 matched up with the top 4 racers from today's event. Hey, thanks for joining us. I'm Miles Grant, your announcer, and I'm an adult.